You need to learn how to visualize a better life for yourself. I'm stressed, I'm pressurized. Visualize your way free of it. I spoke to Shetty, monk, author, writer, visionary, lovely bloke, and he talked about his visualization techniques. He's a friend of mine and a lovely guy. Many of his methods are super successful and applicable. If you're suffering, if you can't see a way out of your problems, maybe these visualization techniques will work for you. How else would the world change on an individual, social or cultural level without a vision? An individual vision for yourself is a vital aspect of any kind of change. Let's have a listen to the conversation I had with Shetty, originally on my podcast, Under the Skin, available from Luminary. You can get that on Apple if you want it. Stay to the end of this video because I've got questions. I'm always going to have questions.
I am such a huge fan of visualization.
Go on, tell us. I like that as well because it's vivid. Go on.
The first time I started hearing about visualization was when I realized that David Beckham visualized free kicks before he took them. Lewis Hamilton visualized the racetrack before he races.
He visualizes it, does he?
He visualizes himself driving the car on that racetrack because he knows what the track looks like, obviously. So he's visualizing how he's taking that bend, how he's taking each part of the car, etc. And same with Beckham taking free kicks. And when I started thinking about it, I thought, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And that was the first time I'd come across it. And for me, it wasn't visualization as a meditation then. I just thought, this is cool. You know, here are some cool people doing it. And then I started to do it before I go on stage. When I'm speaking at an event, I'll visualize myself walking onto stage. I'll visualize myself saying the first thing. So whenever I'm doing something that's pressureful or anything that I feel stressed towards, I visualize myself doing it the way I want to first, which almost reduces the experience when you actually go out there. Because you've lived that life once. The next time you walk out there, you've taken away the stress and the anxiety.
Even if it wasn't a performance thing or a high level thing, such as Lewis Hamilton, would you recommend it? Say you have to have a conversation with someone.
Totally. If you've got to have a conversation with someone that's really challenging, observe and visualize yourself saying what you need to say, visualize yourself in their seat, listening to you, and then visualize yourself as an observer too.
Is this what you're doing in the morning? You're doing this breath, and then you got to visualize the whole day.
No.
It'll be bedtime.
Visualizing something.
And I sit here doing nothing, so pretending.
Breathwork takes like 4 minutes, 8 minutes. Yeah,
that.
breathwork's not long. It's a super short part of the process.
Cool. Well, that just gets you in alignment.
Totally. That helps me because when I meditate, otherwise on mantra, my mind just goes everywhere because I've got so many ideas, and then I know what my to-do list is, etc. We all have that, and that's what I feel is people's biggest struggle with meditation, is that you need something to prepare you before you meditate. It's like when you cook, you need to first chop the vegetables and gather all the stuff before you chuck it in a pan.
You're right. Right, I'm writing that down.
Sorry,
as well.
You know what I mean.
Don't just tip it all in the pan. That's why my casseroles are ridiculous. So you lay out the ingredients, you chop and you weigh, and even in either sense. And then so you do 4 minutes of the breathing. Yeah. Then what are you doing in your visualization? Is it bespoke depending on what day you've got?
Yeah, it depends on the day. Yeah, it depends on the day. Sometimes I'll take that out.
Do you not like to trust our Lord? Like I sometimes just go, sometimes I go, Lord, this is you, mate, because I don't know what's going to happen here. Yeah. But I do that quite a lot.
I do that on the day, at the moment when I feel it. Of course I do. I 100% do that. But I do feel that it's my responsibility to get my intentions right. And so one of my biggest visualizations that I do in the morning is I believe that good intentions in our life are seeds and bad intentions are weeds. And so
seeds and weeds system.
Seeds and weeds.
Good,
and every single day.
Why he's getting the followers. He's going to get the likes with the seeds and weeds. That's very Snoop.
It's very Snoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. different seeds and different weeds.
Different seeds. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Go on.
Yeah. So I was saying, so what I do is I reflect on my intentions visually every day. And I think about how many deals am I taking just because they make me money, or how many videos am I making just because they get me views, or how much stuff am I doing just for the vanity or just for the fame or success, or what I think is going to be good for me, like financially, economically, like how the default mind is set up to think about security as opposed to love and compassion and wanting to change the world and wanting to make a different place. And I'm constantly battling with the two. So what I'll do every day is I'll reflect on my intentions. I'll reflect on the deals I've just signed. I'll reflect on things I'm being offered. And I'll literally look at each offer, deal, whatever it is, each item of thought. And I'll say, is that a seed or a weed? And if it's a weed, I'll pluck it out. I'll literally visualize myself plucking it out of the garden of my mind and pulling it out and taking it out. And if it's a seed, then I'll water it And I'll say, okay, I want that to grow because I am doing that for the right intention. And that practice has really helped me.
What is your barometer by which I love this seedweed system.
Right.
I like it. It should be a game show. It'd be good, wouldn't it? It'd be a good game show.
If you could look in people's
people on.
minds. If you could project people's minds into a
We're going to have to
screen.
rely on them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or
That's
perhaps
not
we
gonna
bring
work.
back the electric shock.
Lie detectors,
Oi,
electric
tell the truth,
shock.
that was a weed. No, it's a seed. All right, it was a weed. So I like that. That's really good.
Yeah.
But what is the barometer
Yeah.
for evaluating, Jay?
So for me, I usually write down each option that I have in life. And I think we all have different options in life. And then I'll place a word above it that feels like the right emotion. So either it can be fame. I could be doing something just because of ego and fame. I could be doing something out of love. I could be doing something for money and stability. I could be doing something for inspiration and passion. So I try and define why. It's defining that why, that intention behind it. Like, why would I take that extra flight off to Singapore? Oh, because I'm going to make X amount of money, right? Like, and literally when you look at your life
Weed.
like that, there you go. And then I'd be like, okay, that's a weed. Now, can I transform it into a seed? Is there a way for me to make it more intentional, purposeful, and conscious? If I can, that's amazing. I'll do that. But if I can't, I need to stop taking things like that into my life. And now I understand, for anyone listening, there are times in our life where money has to be the motivator because we need security, we need stability. But when you do it intentionally, at least then you don't expect that thing to bring you the greatest happiness because you know what purpose it's serving in your life. So I know a lot of people who'd love to quit their jobs and live their passion. But I'm like, no, but you know why. If you know why you're doing the job you're doing, you won't expect it to make you happy. You'll know what it serves, right? What role it serves in your life.
One of my mentors goes, it's a quote, I think it's George Bernard Shaw, a gentleman is never unintentionally rude. So like if you're rude to someone, it's because it's like, I needed to slay you. And other than that, you are not rude to people. But there may be times, as you say, this is. I see Amma once, she was doing that sort of, I guess, kirtan. It was at her thing. Amma the hugging saint, as Jay has just gestured, in case you don't know. I was at her kirtan. It was New Year's Eve. There's thousands of people there. Amma's going in and out of Kali states of consciousness. Her eyes are going white. It's intense and mental. She's like a mentor of mine and all. There's a moment where someone, I guess, is playing a keyboard type thing, and it's like she thinks it's, I guess she don't like it, and she goes, "Oi, saw it in Malalalan." I don't know, Southern Indian dialect. She sort of coats this geezer off and tells him to sort his keyboard out. Not overly intense or anything, but she clearly cares that that's not right. And I, in that moment, think, oh, it's not that Amma doesn't discern or Amma doesn't care, because Amma, if you know anything about Amma, she's all about love. She's cuddling everyone. She's no judgment. But also we have to discern, so you're a young man. Our intentions are what? Our intentions are, as opposed to that do we not want to facilitate the creation of systems that mean that more people will have the options and choices and freedoms that we are working towards, communities based on these ideals, the replication of these systems? If so, how do we make room for the various traditions and backgrounds and beliefs that people might want to join us from?
I think the big thing for me is whatever's rewarded in society increases. Right, whatever you reward in society increases. And we were just talking about on the way up here that if someone sees something being rewarded, recognized, acknowledged, awarded, everyone goes, "Oh, I need to do that." It's like how podcasts started. Everyone saw podcasts working for one or two people, and everyone went, "Oh, I need to do a podcast." And the intention was just, "Oh, it seems to work." It wasn't the intent. I'm not saying everyone who started a podcast feels that way, but I'm just saying a high number of things start because someone sees someone doing something successful, being rewarded, recognized, maybe winning an award, and goes, "Oh, I need to jump on that bandwagon." When actually, if you took a step back and said, "Well, what's my deeper intention than just wanting to be one of the pack?" Weed.
Ow, that's a weed!
I'm going to hear your voice every time I do it. Every day now I'm going to hear. I need to hear you say seed though. I've only heard weed so far.
If you enjoyed that video, let me know. If you've tried these techniques, let me know if they worked for you. I want to know, did they work for you? Hit me with some comments below. Here's another video with comparable techniques that will be equally useful. I hope that you've subscribed to my Awakening channel now so that we can stay in constant contact. Get that ding-a-ling bell turned right on so you can hear me chattering away the whole time. Also, look at this video. You might like this. Most importantly of all, please sign up to my mailing list at russellbrand.com so I can stay in direct communication with you. And sign up to the podcast if you want it. Thank you.